All right, we are back, and I have the Discord chat going through the wrong thing again. Cool.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, and I'll fix that.
Well, it's a stream with a little bit of technical difficulty every time.
Professional?
I mean,
Nah.
it's my fault for touching things.
I don't get paid enough for us to be professional.
Wait,
You don't get paid at all.
You
get paid?
Exactly. I get paid in the camaraderie of other players.
As we shit on you.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Professional maracas.
Yes, we can still hear you.
Yep.
Cool. Then I fixed it.
Computer,
Is
you are
that
not
sound?
stating right now. Stop it. Sorry.
Professional maracas.
Alrighty.
Called 2 pounds of cheese puffs.
Well,
Ooh.
stop. So, guys, sorry we're late. We all kind of jumped on right at 9, and then we had stuff to talk about, and then we decided to throw things together. That is called the artwork that we had done. So, you can see down here. Oh, it's not showing up my mouse over on stream. So you can see kind of
there's
down
your
here.
mouse.
Oh, there it is.
I see it.
It's just really late.
Mm-hmm.
So down here, you can see the artwork. Actually, let me blow it up a little bit for everyone.
I mean, you have the files. Couldn't you show it on your computer?
I don't have them downloaded.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, I just made them bigger for now. These are all the artwork that we had done by a dear friend of ours. Her name is Jessie. I'm going to put a link to her Instagram in the chat. Check it out. Go show her some support. She's a fantastic artist. And
we love her.
I support you, Jessie.
Yeah. She is great. She has done, like I said, she did all 4 of these drawings. And then actually our own Dinok, or Romulus, did my logo design here.
That was fun.
Yeah. So things that we do kind of just he was doing.
Pop up on here.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep those small so that when we actually go to a map later on, they're not obscuring the map. But that is what kind of took us so long to get started tonight. But like I said, I think it was worth it. Again, go show Jessie Creative on Instagram. Go show her some support. Like I said, fantastic artist, very nice person, and it's been a pleasure working with her through all of this. With that out of the way, I have no other announcements other than I forgot what we did last week.
Good thing I take notes then.
I know, but I have an idea. Plus, I think the big thing was I forgot what I was doing with the odor. But,
I don't have any notes on that.
Death. That's all you said.
Yep.
We woke up. In the morning, we woke to the smell of decay.
Yep.
How epic. And that's where we headed. That's where we ended it.
So, it was. But I did very quick recap review of what that was, so I have an idea of what I was doing. So, last week, you guys spent a little bit of time in the remainder time in the city of Tolus, gathering a little bit more information, gathering supplies, and then left to go back to the city of Dagbor with Ada to essentially let Zio know that you have completed the task set before you by him, and that you are going to rendezvous with them at the summit. Either that or tag along with him. It was never really made clear. That being said, the party then encountered a group of Parringtons, which hit like a motherfucking truck. But fortunately, the party hits just as hard. So they
The hell?
cleared those out, killed 3 of those, continued traveling north for a little ways before making camp. They made camp, had their watches, and then the next morning, the smell of decomposing or decomp and death basically was on the wind as they have begun getting closer to the city of Dagbor and the mountain ranges that it resides beside. And that is where we pick up tonight's story. So, it is early morning. You guys have just set off from camp and have been making your way north towards the city of Dagbor. And the smell is intense.
So just stay out of the tents and we'll be fine.
Okay, I'm able to hold down my breakfast.
You chose to eat breakfast?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not traveling on an empty stomach. That would be insane.
You guys just continue forward?
Indeed.
Yep.
What does the map say about these mountains anyways? What is the name of this range? Anyone?
The name of the mountain range. Hold on one second. Let me grab my map. They are the Airy Mountains. And that's Aerie Mountains.
Like the... Okay.
Like the yeah, like more like the feeling.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that it wasn't something ironic like, the decaying mountains or something.
Not in this
So
continent.
they would be. So it's. So it's. In other words, these mountains aren't supposed to smell like that. Okay, gotcha.
Probs not.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you guys would like to do as you travel?
I'm basically going to be playing with this new spell I got.
Oh no.
I think a 17 hits pretty much everybody in the party, so...
Not actually attacking anyone in my party.
Okay.
I'm just reaching out and touching random things.
Oh boy.
Huh.
Why do I have these?
What?
Yeah, it would hit me if you hit me.
What, DM?
I rolled to see what you kind of what the results are of you touching something randomly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you touch? Like there's
A
there's trees and tall grass around you. There's there's all kinds of different wild environment.
A branch that's hanging over the pathway within reach.
Okay.
One that's not drying or decaying.
Well, unfortunately,
They all are? Great. Forest fire!
Yeah. You touch a tree branch and you cast the magic, and then you were like, oh no. As you look to the side as the electricity courses through the branch, and the tree like being struck by lightning, just up in flame.
Katya, in horror, looks at Dinok. What are you doing?
I did not think it would be that strong.
Are you telling me you're having a hard time controlling your magic?
I mean, brand new spell. You never know what's going on with it.
Well, why don't you test it on something that might actually fight back instead of trying to burn down the forest?
Meanwhile, the tree is still burning.
Well, now we gotta put it out before...
Carding starts dancing around it.
Yeah, what's the chant that you do along with it?
What was the demon's name?
I am tempted. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember too.
Wait, what?
The demon general we learned the name of a few
Tenebris?
Yes,
Tenebris?
thank you.
Let's not say that name too many times now. We might actually burn down the forest. There's gotta be something we can do. What have I got on me that might be able to help? Because I don't want to burn down the forest. And I want to get blamed for that.
He's chanting that one song by Matchbox 20.
What?
I believe the world is burning to the ground.
Oh, wow.
Valor kind of shrugs and says, unless you want to make it bigger, I got nothing.
All I really know are lightning and fire spells.
Yeah.
Oh.
Valor kind of walks away singing We Didn't Start the Fire.
Otto's gonna tell... Actually, I'm gonna roll for Otto. Like two sides of a freaking coin. Otto's gonna tell Cardin to cut it down onto the path.
Okay. I'll move to cut down the tree.
Okay, go ahead and... Do you have an axe or something like that now?
Yeah, I have a great axe.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll with that.
Well, 17 hit it.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll damage.
14.
Holy crap.
Okay. You take... that's actually quite a bit for you now at this point. You take 6 points of fire damage as you come in and swipe through this tree, just taking a nice big old swing. It does fall, and it falls onto the pathway before you guys. That is mostly dirt, and Otto kind of like has you move like the last edge of it over, but that's easy enough with reach and stuff. That it's no longer touching like the rest of the wilderness around you, and it'll eventually burn itself out on the dirt path.
Look, it's not supposed to be that strong. It's not supposed to be that strong. It's supposed to be a mild jolt.
Well, since you set it on fire, why don't you take your bedroll and try to put it out?
I mean, Otto kind of goes, there's no point now.
Okay, if you insist. If it does burn down somehow, still, we'll say you did it.
We didn't start the fire.
I mean, it's on a dirt path now, the tree itself, so it's not gonna be burning anything.
If you insist, I'll just step around it then and pretend I didn't see it.
Okay.
With my perception, though.
So I rolled a natural 1 for that tree there.
Oh,
And then I flipped it around and rolled a natural 20 for an intelligence check for Otto.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I rolled 6 points of fire damage for Cardin, so...
On a
I
D6?
guarantee.
Was it on a D6?
Well, on 2d6, but yeah.
I guarantee you that spell will not be near as powerful when you use it on another target.
Yeah, something like that. It's always like that.
Good old luck.
Okay. Alright. Other than playing with that in a more safe manner, what else would you guys like to do on your day's travel to Dagbor?
I'm actually going to, once, the clamor of that whole situation has died down, ask Katya about his homeland. So, Katya, what is your land like?
My home?
Yes, the major cities, the surrounding areas, what's it all like?
Well, kind of similar to this world, actually. A lot. I believe it's a little more varied as far as landscapes go. We got a little bit of everything.
What do you mean
Really,
by everything?
we got plains, we got forests, we've got desert. I think there was actually a volcanic area at some point, though I'm not entirely sure how that works on an island in the sky.
Magic?
But yeah,
Magic bullshit. Just chalk it up to magic bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't ask. Okay. Well, I just won't play over there. Gotcha. We don't have a whole lot of large cities actually. We have the one, Oxenford that I'm from, and it's a major place of commerce. Very similar to Tullus in some ways. A little bit smaller though. And I wouldn't say we have a king per se, but more like just a. I guess like a head governor, and he's got some people appointed underneath him that help with different districts. Beyond that, it's pretty much what we've seen here. Now, from what you've told me of your land, though, we're definitely behind on technology.
Yes. Hofkeen, my home. Roughly the same size as what I've seen on the map. I could be mistaken, but most of the entire island is a large continuous city.
Wow.
It's divided into several different wards, each ruled by a family.
So like city-states.
Oh yes, one city-states of one large city.
Interesting.
Like I said, it's mostly city except for like two. Well, that one's actually not really. Oh geez.
Yeah, I got a random message that never happens.
Ah!
Exactly.
So yes, there are two areas of nature just left unchecked. Not through us not trying to develop them, but for other reasons. One is ruled by Mother Vale.
Who is Mother Vale?
Mother Vale is. Do you know the name Terras?
Terras?
Make a history
Terras.
check.
That's it. Uh-oh, history check.
No, you don't.
No, I didn't think so. Actually,
so-
I've never heard this name.
Do we want Valinar or Cardin to roll? I'm not being
gonna-
quiet
I
about
mean,
this.
I can try.
I'm gonna say Cardin cannot. Valinar may if he wants to.
What is it? History?
Yeah.
Sure.
Nope.
Dang.
No.
A Tarask is an enormous creature. Essentially the epitome of the predatory beings.
Oh.
There are very few creatures who can defeat them. The last I heard, there were plenty of theories to defeat them. One involving several warlocks, I do believe it was.
Eh.
But no guarantees as of yet. Besides, we only have Mother Vale tested
Also-
on, and we don't want to diss her.
Also, real quick, Romulus, do you have the copy of what roughly what the landscape of your island would look like? I feel like I sent
No.
this to everybody, but couldn't remember. Okay, I will send it
It's
to
been a
you.
while.
I will send
I
it
don't-
to you guys again. You
Okay.
guys keep talking. So far, everything works out fine with what you've already said, though.
Good. I'm just guessing.
Yes, Mother Vale, known officially, she is Mother Elder Vale.
Oh.
She is an intelligent Terras. Normally, they're just beasts, powerful, deadly, dangerous, but just beasts. Mother Vale, for some reason, can think and talk less as any of us. Any of us, and I point to me, Valinar, and Katya.
Ah, I see. Not Cardin. Okay. So what does she say? Get off my lawn, and you guys just decided to leave her alone?
Not really that. More along the line of don't destroy the forest she lives in, and she'll be okay with
Probably
us worshipping her.
Probably the forest and mountains that she would live in, because they would, because she would have a bit of both, based off of her location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's between Orkjaw and Cured Caldera.
Cursed Caldera.
Cursed. Yeah, she lives between both.
Okay, everybody should have
Yes.
theirs again. Cardin, I'm not sending you yours. 'Cause you should have it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I know
she-
more about my land.
There's rumors of her having a. I'm not exactly sure, but there's been rumors of a speaker for her. But rumors and conjectures, and honestly, other than the family vacation my family had to her area, never learned more. I was 2 when we went there. 2.
That sounds terrifying. I wouldn't want to mess with a creature like that.
Terrifying, awe-inspiring. Almost as awe-inspiring as as
A bard?
Korath.
Wait, as who?
Korath. She is A kraken.
Oh, what?
A large sea creature.
Oh! I'm sorry, your accent put me off. I wasn't sure exactly what you said. Wait, did you say Kraken?
Yes. When the island rose 2,000 years ago, there was a group of demons who were trying to get the Kraken's eggs. And some of people from Hofkeen saved the eggs and hid them from the demons, along with the Kraken, in an artificial lake we created.
And I thought they were just legendary, mythical creatures, because I heard that they used to live in bodies of water.
Yes, the seas below us. Well,
So, how does a Kraken live on your island? Do you have large bodies of water for it to live in?
not originally. We made an artificial lake, known as the Fake
Oh.
Lake.
Appropriate.
Yes, not very imaginative, but
And it took a
honestly,
long time to build.
yes, 500 years.
Oh, wow.
And she can communicate through limited telepathy. Very limited. And I look over at Cardin. A little bit less than you, actually.
Only a little.
Only a little.
Curtain big brain go pew pew.
Yeah.
But she chose to aid us since we saved her eggs. And
Oh, okay.
other than asking for the lake, she's been asleep mostly for the 1,500 years since. Saying she's waiting for her eggs to wake up and hatch.
Or so the stories go.
I have a hard time imagining how an egg would still hatch after 1,500 years. But alright.
Ada kind of turns and looks to you and goes, Look at any kind of elf, boy. They live how long? You can probably, if you
1,000?
if you look hard enough, you might be able to find one that was in the old war.
On this
And-
continent or any continent?
Probably not here. Honestly, probably have to travel to the surface for that. But you know, creatures.
I would
live a
say
really
that's a-
long time for some. You know, like an elf, a human lifespan such as your own is nothing but the blink of an eye.
You know, I'd say traveling to the
weekend
surface.
in the park.
Okay. There was a point where I believed that going to the surface would have been impossible, but somehow I ended up on another continent, so it's not impossible, just...
And considering this one here, I point my thumb to Cardin, is
Yeah.
supposedly from the surface.
I am.
I don't know if that was a question or a statement.
That's the point. Because Cardin himself is still not, like, he's been told he's from the surface because of what he's experienced, but he's still like, are we not on the surface? Type of deal. Because you keep talking about all the islands and stuff,
Well,
but Cardin is still
Yeah.
Remember, Cardin, you have been to the edge of the world before.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
And you did not see water, so...
Yeah, I am from the surface then.
I mean, then again, Cardin.
Also true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hofkeen sounds like a dangerous place to live in, with large, intelligent beasts surrounding your cities.
Oh,
I
they
can't-
are very gentle to those in their circles.
Mhm.
As long as they are placated. As I said, vacation. Who wouldn't want to see a giant, mountain-sized creature uh, where they live and all that? With,
Katya raises his hand.
with little to no danger.
Katya raises his hand.
Well, you're lost then.
I mean, but you had to create your own lake in order to survive. Like you, but it sounds like you got.
It's not that we had to survive. It was a mutual agreement between us and Korat. We wanted her to stay with
Oh
us.
yes.
And in exchange, she asked for a lake. If we couldn't provide the lake, or make the lake as we did, she would have just simply took her eggs and just gone back down to the surface. The hard way, apparently, from what has been said.
That would have been a long fall, no doubt.
A kraken. Tell me that wouldn't survive.
I can't say one way or another.
Yeah.
Can't say I'm familiar.
Kraken might. What about the eggs?
We're never sure. But, I mean, considering she was so sure of herself, I can't say that she wouldn't have been able to safeguard her eggs as well.
Worst case scenario, you just have a very nice omelet at the end.
No.
Either way.
Omelet eggs. Wait, Kraken eggs, not omelet eggs.
Also, the only one down there at that time would have been the mother.
Well, Cardin.
I mean, the eggs would have been a Kraken.
Anyways,
And it's at that point in time, in the semi-far future, you begin to see the sky rise of the city of Dagbor.
but I'm not done yet.
Oh my goodness.
As Katya
We're
says,
world building, damn it!
yeah.
I know.
So after Dinok explains all of this, Katya does make a comparison to his land. And he says, "Well, at least you have water where you're from. It sounds like you got that under control. Where I'm from, we have a few rivers, though I'm not entirely sure of the source where they actually come from. It seems to me most of the water that we collect is gathered from rainfall, but as you can see, when you're above the clouds, you don't get much rain. And we actually
you also know that the river there beside Oxenford is man-made.
Yeah. We actually had an existing city. Oxenford dates back to before the rise. Unfortunately, the river that runs by it today does not. We had to create that after the rise when we discovered quickly we didn't get the part of the land that had all of the bodies of water. And so we've had an ongoing water shortage for the past few decades, and it's actually getting to a point where if you don't have money, you just die of dehydration. Katya swallows kind of hard. It happened to one of my friends, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Which is why I've decided to become an alchemist and try to find a way to create water. As a matter of fact, I think after having spoken to you and had a little more insight into how magic works, I believe whatever components and verbal that I used when my incident happened a couple of years ago might have actually been an alter self spell, and I didn't know it. as I was
Mhm.
trying to alter the composition of one item to water, and instead turn myself into this monstrosity.
Hmm.
But that's
Well,
besides the point.
until your skin falls off, I can't call you a monstrosity.
In a way, it kind of has.
I raise an eye ridge.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
I changed bodies. This isn't my skin.
Ah, I mean rotting off.
Oh. At least it's not doing that. I guess it could be worse. But that's why I need to get home so bad. I mean, I'm sure the rest of us here need to get home, but my people need me. I was on the verge of a breakthrough, and then I woke up here.
Hmm.
Or at least I think I was. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, when we are able to return to our homes, I will definitely be able to get in touch with the right people. And if we can manage to get our islands to, I don't know, send scouts to each other, find each other's location, we'll definitely be able to help you.
I
At least
mean,
I'm pretty sure.
there was really no reason before to create crafts that can fly from the island, because where are we going to go? The surface world, where who knows what awaited us? We didn't know there were other land masses, but now that we do, it's an incentive to, open up those lines of trade.
Then we'll find
Perhaps,
you.
perhaps there's something that we might have that you don't, though I highly doubt that at this point.
Deanoch just shrugs. You never know. I was not a very advanced researcher at the Magitech research facility, but I don't know. Acquisitions was not my department. No, I was
No.
just focused on exploring magic, and then the whole thing with Gorbak happened.
Gorbuck.
My wife.
Oh, right.
Yes, from what we were able to tell, it was some kind of curse that took her.
Curse.
And as I said, the priests of many temples refused to treat her, saying that the curse had some element of divine magic in it, which is why I at least came to despise the priests. It's
So,
hard to say that the gods aren't involved when you say that there's divine magic and a curse affecting your wife, slowly killing her.
yes, but how do you know it is actually a curse and not just a disease?
Because the priest said it was a curse.
Do priests believe in medicine?
Yes. Healers?
Well, I mean, that
Magic and religion kind of go hand in hand
maybe.
on my island.
Oh. But I mean, it's easy for a holy man to, a healer to call upon the power of the gods to heal someone, but a doctor or an herbalist might actually be able to come up with a land-based or man-made medicine of some sort.
Well, the priests of the temples in Hofkeen, specifically the ones of Palutena, you would know as.
Sorry.
There we go. I was expecting that eventually when I was talking.
That just hit me too.
I would also like to say, above game, I can clearly hear the music of this Legend of Zelda Water Temple in the background.
Oh
as you
no!
speak.
I am so sorry. I did not know that was transmitting.
I'm like, I could hear that every time you start speaking, and I'm like, just trying to place. I'm like, is that what I think it is? Which is why I feel distracted right now. I'm like, I keep hearing
I'm
that,
so
and
sorry.
I'm having PTSD.
Well, the thing
Water
is,
temple.
but what the thing is, Paulatina.
I didn't want to say anything because you guys were having such a beautiful character moment.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was going on.
I wasn't gonna say anything until I knew for sure, but I was like, yeah, I hear that that flute now. That's the song.
It wasn't coming up on Discord when I wasn't talking, so I didn't think it would come up when I was talking.
We thought it was just Genox's character background.
Dinox got a character theme now.
I mean, I'll take it.
Oh, PTSD.
It's oddly fitting, actually. But anyways, so you said Palatena.
Yes. You would know as more along the lines of a combination of Vitya and Geisma.
Okay.
Somewhere along the lines in Hofkeen's rise, we came to see those two as Palutena.
Just one god instead of two.
Yes. Similar to how... What was the storm god again?
Bagula?
Lightning did.
Yeah. Diala.
Yes, we know them as Thor.
Interesting.
And the god of
I-
nature from the first chapel we rested at. That was On, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We know him as Pan.
Pan. Like,
I love
Yeah.
that you're getting this.
May you spread the word of Pan throughout the entire universe.
so now we've gone from speaking of Kraken eggs to Pan. I see a theme here.
Me too.
Omelets?
It's called omelets.
I love breakfast.
I beat you to a rip.
But I can understand how you might change the name of your god, the names of your gods, but I have a hard I have a hard time understanding the concept of combining two gods into one. You would think that the gods would be easily recognizable as two separate entities, correct?
Mortals often get things wrong. Who knows? Maybe it is a separate deity entirely. Maybe it is just light and life are often held in the same regard. After all, does the sun not give both light and grow the crops? Among other things, of course, but
The sun at the worst of times can also burn you to death.
part of life.
So if that is the case, could not the goddess of light and life also be the goddess of death?
No, that's Mortis.
Or
But couldn't you combine them
Morten.
since
For you.
you know?
or maybe the sun's just a different deity altogether. Rena.
Or maybe y'all have fallen from the true gods.
I mean, I got a basic education.
Hold on.
Hmm?
Carden, who are your gods?
Oh, you know what? That is a good question. Please enlighten us.
Well, we call our sun Ra.
Ra?
Ra.
I think you're
As in,
making stuff
Ra?
up now.
Ra, ra, ra.
That's not too far off from what we call the sun, Rania. Or, I'm sorry, the heretics call the sun.
Yes. And then we find ourselves more one at nature normally. So I forget our gods. We don't pay them a lot of attention.
Oh.
That
They
has
don't
to go
need
real up
it.
for you.
They don't need it. We have priests and priestesses, but
Is
it's
that
more-
why?
We
Is that
are,
why you guys have more shaman than
yeah, we have
everyone.
more like shamanism type of deals.
I'm sorry, Cardin, but if you aren't paying attention to the gods, is that perhaps why you were constantly being harassed by demons?
I mean, if the gods can't find us, how can the demons?
You live in their land?
So we live on our land too. On our land too.
Never mind, we'll come back to that question.
Darkness and light can't exist in the same place.
I got a basic education on the gods and what they all represent, but like I said, it was very basic because I moved on to more scientific studies and more studies of nature and how things combine more so than the gods, and I can't say I'm devoted to knowing them all. I even get some of their names wrong and what they represent.
Fair
Oh
enough.
yeah, that's what it was. Our earth god is Volo. Sorry, go
Alright
ahead.
then.
I had to. I
Cardin just had a
really
aha.
thought
Even the
Cardin
DM
had
is
an
confused.
aha.
Really, the only two gods that have any significance where I'm from that we speak of the most are Rista and her twin brother Sen.
Which are?
Rista would be, I guess, the equivalency of your Palutena, whereas Sen is her jealous brother, who I guess would be the opposite in death and trickery, perhaps?
Trickery. You mean like Anansi?
Not
Sure. Sure. We'll go with that.
Or we also call him the Old Knocker.
That's a name that sounds more familiar.
What is
Old-
yours?
We
What
just
is-
call him Knock.
Yeah, I see it. Speaking of the rest of the gods, your god of knowledge is Scientia.
Santia, yes.
We call her Seshat for my people.
Shot. Wonder if they're the same god or just slightly different versions of a god.
Could be different aspects of the same god.
Yeah,
Whoa.
the god with split personalities.
They all have to start in one place.
Somebody's over here. Somebody's over here modifying our God's handout.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, like, wait a minute.
Are there any other major gods to your religion, Valinor?
Well, I'm gonna say this first off. You'd hate where I'm from because we're a theocracy, so yes.
Motherfucker.
I mean, we have Mortem, the god of death, Saintia, goddess of knowledge, Vitia, goddess of life, Geisma, god of light, An, god of nature, Theella, goddess of tempest, Nock, god of trickery, and Kine, god of war.
War, yes, war, that's the last one.
Kane, not Kine. Kane.
Oh, it's Cain.
What's
Sorry.
the difference?
Reference?
Anyways, our god of war is known as Nurgle.
Nurgle.
Nurgle?
Out of game. That sounds like the name of the lead singer for Belmoth.
No, it's the name. It's
I've heard this name.
I was thinking Harry Potter. The
No.
things Luna always sees.
Oh yeah,
Where did I get that name?
That's it. But
Nargal.
Nargle. I think is what is Harry Potter.
I think it's Nargles. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Nargal. I hear that name and I think Spawn for some reason.
Right. Out of game, it's Mesopotamian.
Ah,
Yeah,
Mesopotamian.
Yeah,
Sure.
Mesopotamian god of death, war, and destruction. And for some reason,
Yeah, look.
linked to Adam Duskarski, a Polish musician. I don't know why his IMDb came up, but it did.
Because he's the lead singer for the band Belmoth.
Is Nergal vegan? You know what? I'm not gonna touch that question. I ain't getting us in trouble.
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
the lead
so-
singer for a band.
So above game, yeah, I took a lot of these names from a bunch of just different mythologies.
yeah.
I appreciate
Including
the-
some fictional.
Yes.
Good old Palutena.
Like, Teshat, I think, is Egyptian,
Sounds Egyptian.
and Anansi was African.
Now, I have heard a lot about your world from you, Dinok, but Valinor doesn't speak about his home much. I can see why, based on things I've heard, but I'm curious. I'd like to know more.
About which aspect of my world? The politics, the realm.
Obviously, the politics and the theocracy and your religious leaders sound like a terrible idea to discuss. We already know that they're not great based on things you've said. But what about the rest of the world? The layout, the people. Yeah.
Interesting enough. Hard to talk about the people without talking about theocracy. A lot of people are a little upset with the churches. Can't imagine why.
Why don't they just, I don't know, rise up and do something about it?
Well, I can't be 100% sure about this because I've only heard the rumor, but there's a rumor that a few of the churches are trying to spread around that they're the reason the island's still in the sky. So,
Okay, that sounds absurd.
yeah.
I mean, is it any more absurd than knowing that the reason my island is still in the sky is due to Magitech, a combination of science and technology and magic?
Well, kind of shrugs, says it's a rumor that's going around. I don't know. I was just an apprentice. I never actually learned all the secrets.
Oh,
Most
I was
rumors have some kernel of truth.
I was thinking of it in terms of because they exist, your island must stay in the sky or something like that. But you meant that they're the reason that they believe they're the reason your island is still floating, like they're the power source.
No. Like I said, it was a very vague rumor. So the reason this guy, it could be power source, it could be they're operating some ancient machine. It could be that they actually are keeping it afloat with prayers to the gods. Although somehow I doubt that last one.
You would there's gotta be some reason, or obviously they would have all plummeted to the ground by now. It's the gods' will that it could happen.
It could. Or it could amount to nothing, and it's just an overreach of power.
If an island falls from the sky and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a noise?
Oh no, someone's gonna hear it. You have any idea how high up we are, and if we fall from the sky? Especially if there are people on the surface.
Yeah, that. I imagine that a lot of people on the island would be screaming.
But would we hear it?
Depends on how close the islands are. We have no idea.
I mean, also, that large of a landmass falling in the ocean, that's going to raise some noise. No matter where we are.
Provided it lands in the water.
Still gonna make a lot of noise. It's got a.
Maybe some massive waves.
Not only that, but eventually it will hit the bottom of the ocean. Land doesn't float after all. Sinks.
How do you know this?
Take a rock, toss it into a pond of water. Does it float or does it sink?
But that's a rock. We're talking
And
about
these islands are
massive,
just a lot of rocks.
it's a
Who's the
massive
thing?
landmass. It's more than just a rock.
Well, if something was
We're not
Right.
standing on a mountain.
right now,
Are we? And Enoch just taps his foot. Is this not higher than any mountain on the surface? Well, that technically would be a mountain, higher than the.
I think
But what you just
part of the mountain definition is it has to be attached to the main.
described was a rock, a solid rock, which would, and you compared it to an island, which would suggest that we're on just a floating mountain, and not an actual ball of dirt and grass and various other things.
Pretty sure that's what we're on. Dirt's so
Enoch
weird.
just shrugs.
If you throw in like a handful of dirt, not compact, it floats. If you compact it though, oftentimes it'll sink.
And Enoch again taps the ground. Feels pretty compact to me.
Just get a jar of it.
Off in the distance, we all hear, I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
What's wrong with that guy?
He ate too
We
much
don't
dirt.
ask.
I love. Okay, above game. I just gotta say, I love how we all started this game like with serious ideas of these characters, and like every single D&D group, we've devolved into memes and jokes.
Well,
No, we're doing that above game. The characters are still somewhat serious.
eh.
That's why I made a funny character.
I mean, if you look close enough at my portrait, he literally just looks like a sarcastic asshole.
Welcome to my life.
Every day you look in the mirror.
Uh-huh. I'm like, with that raised eyebrow, I wonder what crazy things I'm going to come up with today.
Anyways,
The conversation begins to die down.
Oh,
Eventually,
actually,
you get... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it's a quick thing. Something I just realized. What are the mountains we're in called again? The Arid?
Airy Mountains?
Hmm.
Okay. Because where I'm at, we have, what was that? The Airy Peak? I was looking. Oh, it's Arid Peak. Arid
Yeah,
Peaks.
it's-
Never mind.
Yeah, A-E, R-I-E. I don't know. Yeah, yours are... Yeah.
Mine's Arid. Never mind.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. We're good.
Do you guys want another image of the map that you guys are currently on again?
Yes.
Okay.
Might be helpful. Why don't you just put all the maps like in the compendium here under the handout, so then we can just look at them anytime.
Because I'm lazy. I haven't gotten that far.
Okay. We're only in session 21.
we've only been doing this for what, 4 months?
Something like that.
Yeah, cut me a break, guys.
Damn.
And because there are some maps that I don't want you guys to see yet.
Well, then don't put those ones up.
I'll work through it whenever I have an opportunity to download them all. You gotta remember, I'm a busy man. Anyway,
I know. It's only gonna get busier.
Anyway,
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Uh-oh.
why don't we just take a real quick 5-minute break here then?
Sounds good.
That's fair enough.
I
Before we
need,
enter Diabora.
yeah, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need something to drink here in a little bit anyway. So,
Fair
we'll
enough.
be right back in like 5 minutes or so, guys. So, BRB. wrong one. My bad. Welcome back, guys.
Whoopsie!
Okay. Thank you for bearing with us through that break. I'm gonna say, you guys managed to make your way to the city of Dagbor without incident. The smell of decay and rot seemed to be strong but less present here in the city of Dagbor. Where would you like to go?
How long was it since the attack? 2 weeks, right?
A little over at this point.
Unless they started burning the bodies immediately, I imagine, zombie rot going to be everywhere.
Ew.
And we would like to go to Mayor Zio's, probably.
Okay. With the company of Otta, you guys are able to get to Mayor Zio's office without any issue.
Don't have to pay?
Pretty much everybody recognizes Otta. And no, you do not have to pay in order to get into the out from the into the next district because you are with Otta.
Otta OP.
Otta is basically every time you guys come to a gate, you watch as Otta basically just flashes a talisman.
Okay.
And it basically is just I'm important. Get the F out of my way. So, yeah, you guys are able to get to Mayor Zio's office without any real issue. Is there...
Cool.
Once there, you guys ascend to the top floor, the same way you did the first time with help from an assistant. Wow, I could not speak.
Did we go there the second time too?
I'm sorry?
Didn't we go up this tower twice now, or this building twice?
3 times now.
I mean, if you believe so, yeah.
I think it's 3 times total now with this one.
This would be 3 times.
So you gonna roll for
Confusing the DM.
You gonna roll for con to keep your lunch down?
Oh yeah, this is the elevator that goes up really fast.
Yeah, because it's basically
Okay.
a reverse gravity spell.
It's challenging, but I do manage.
It's like one of those barfy burps.
Ugh.
I love how everybody immediately was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I know the feeling.
We all know that feeling.
Ugh.
Upon entering the small, cozy office of Mayor Zio, you see the individual again, Mayor Zio, the kind of slightly older human, 40 to 45, clearly rich, based off of what he's wearing. He looks less tired, and there's less paperwork on his desk than the last time you guys were here.
Sweet.
And as you guys kind of come in, he's, I wasn't expecting you guys to return with Ada. I was simply expecting Ada. I'm assuming everything went well.
Well, other than finding a priest in one city apparently was worshipping a demon general, B, getting arrested for slaughtering what we thought were Benson turned out to be guards.
Mm-hmm. getting harassed by griffins,
Not just griffins. Birds.
birds, big birds. Birds are very kind, you know. Um.
Dogs.
The putrid smell on the way back.
Oh, and we're the guardians of the pit fight in Thalna.
Champions?
Yeah.
Did I say guardians? I meant champions. I don't know why I said guardians.
Well, it sounds like you guys have had a very eventful series of travels.
Almost
And-
as exciting as my honeymoon.
Oh. Oh my.
Just gonna leave that one alone.
I
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
Well, the
Did she need a pair of pliers then too?
congratulations about the fighting pit. Are all of the leaders in agreement of the summons?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't believe I heard any objections, so yes?
Excellent.
I mean,
Then-
we saved. At least one was the Elderman's daughter, yes? The girls we saved?
Yes. Yes.
So they're definitely coming. And we impressed the, Elven chief. Boss.
We also-
of course. He kind of like looks up. Quinfarin, make preparations. We shall leave in the morning. He was very quickly doing math.
Don't forget, we also kind of got the sympathy of whoever the mayor of Baran was.
Palig?
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
That's in
he
my
did
It's in my other notebook.
pick that abnormal troll on us, didn't he? Breeder
Mhm.
troll, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Those
And
things
we
are fairly
destroyed
nasty.
it, barely.
And we won.
Yes, after you ran into the arms of another troll.
That was before that.
That was before that. We
I'm
fought
never
the
going to-
breeder troll in the pit.
Yep.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oda, you are dismissed. You will not be required for the summit. And Oda kind of just, he kind of just gives a slight bow and says thank you and leaves. You assume he's going to be going home to his family if he has one.
I will never
At the
see
very
him again.
least, a nice warm fire.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
And
And his razor.
And you guys also had watched as the essentially secretary for Mayor Zio has left to begin preparations for the morning. So it is just you four and Zio currently left in his office.
Lord Zio,
Yes?
is there any way we could travel with you? Or should we go by ourselves for some reason?
No, you are welcome to travel with me. I cannot say that it would be any less than ideal. Having you guys along as extra protection would only define what I'm trying to accomplish.
Very well then, what time are you expecting to leave?
Well, we'll have a few days travel from here to the summit's meeting place. And I sent for the summons to be held in roughly 3 days from now, so leaving in the morning would be ideal. So tomorrow morning, maybe just after sunrise, would be the ideal time to leave.
11 it is.
Alright.
We're gonna leave him behind if that's what it takes.
I was
No, I'll wake him up without losing another door this time.
A door.
He's not a morning person.
Extremely. Especially not
We
with
should
this
arrange for a
one
cart
knocking
for
on the
him to
door.
sleep on tonight, then.
To be fair, there was a continuous honking sound on my door, and I had been asleep.
At this, the robed figure next to me turns and looks at Cardin.
I didn't know we had a skeleton at that point.
He has a what?
I told you it was a bad idea.
Take off your hood.
Skelly
Interview.
boy.
He reveals you drop the hood on the skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was his trophy from defeating one of the fighters in the pit.
Trophy. That was one of the fighters in the pit.
Uh-huh.
Zio kind of steps up to it and kind of looks at it curiously and just goes, "Interesting. It's not very often that there are individuals born to this area who have a
Knowledge of
Well,
death?
I guess you're not born to this area either. But there's not very many people in this area who are knowledgeable and have a connection. A strong connection, I guess I should say, with death. Curious question. Have you ever seen a remnant?
Ooh, history check?
This would be. Hold on, I'm actually gonna check the skills list because this is a specific one.
Nature?
Also, did you say revenant or remnant?
Remnant.
Both.
Would it be animal handling?
Actually, I think this would be.
Medicine, right? Definitely medicine.
Actually, I think this would be more religion.
Interesting.
Can I roll for that?
Wow.
Look, just because I don't like the gods doesn't mean I'm not knowledgeable of
You are very knowledgeable in your enemy.
that. Exactly.
Knowledge is power. I would say yes, you can, Valinar.
Okay. Probably gonna be a terrible roll. No, 18.
Nope.
Just for the heck of it,
No.
may I?
Actually,
Sure, why don't we all?
I will say Cardin can, but this has to do for a different reason than the other two.
Okay. Would still be religion
where
then?
would I?
It still would be religion. Katya, are you proficient in religion?
No.
Then I'm gonna say you cannot roll.
I'm the
So-
only one who can't.
Yeah, let me put it this way: Denock gets to roll because it was a question directed directly at him. Valinar gets to roll because he's a cleric, and Cardin gets to roll because he's a Kalishtar.
Ooh.
Oh.
So
Fancy.
So
I am just confused.
yes, you.
Is it magical?
you have probably never heard this term before. Cardin, you're unsure what a remnant is. It might be a remnant of food.
Ew.
Dinok and Valinar. The word sounds familiar, like you read it in an old religious textbook of some kind. But you are unsure of what it is or what it means.
Wow.
I'm so
The
familiar.
name sounds familiar, but off the top of my head, I can't say anything other than it definitely sounds ominous.
Remnant.
Well, a lot of times a remnant is used to describe an individual's soul when they pass. That remnant of their soul that stays due to some kind of grudge on the material plane, or some kind of unfinished business on the material plane. And sometimes they manifest as different beings. Some say they've seen a being of light, others have seen beings of shadows, others have seen beings of plants or ground. It's different and varies from individual to individual. And there's not very many people who can, but all of them who have seen these have had a very strong connection to death.
Is that anything like a wraith?
Sort of, but usually not hostile or very limited to being able to interact with the material plane.
Unable to interact. Like a...
Did they form a bond with someone?
Wait, was that?
Could they form a bond with another being living? And specifically appear randomly over someone's
Like a
shoulder?
I'm not sure about appearing randomly, but depending on the individual and the relationship to that individual during life, potentially.
Valinar?
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yes.
How are you so well informed on this matter?
Do you think I sit around all day doing paperwork?
Maybe I don't have an understanding of what a mayor does, but
That and public hours.
yeah.
Well, even before being a mayor, I had a career before. And that career was well, how should I say this? I guess the best way of saying it is, yeah, the best way that I can say this is, Vitia showed me the path forward until Dagbor needed a leader, and the people chose me.
Damn it.
Oh, so you
not-
were
Do not
a religious
fret.
leader of sorts.
I guess a good way of saying it was a individual who
You were
served
guided.
an individual who served the city first, but called upon a god for strength when needed.
A paladin?
Of sorts.
At this, D-Dog just kind of slumps.
You can't escape it.
That's impressive, actually. And very noble.
It's not like I had much of a choice when Farin wouldn't let me leave even if I wanted to.
Oh.
Regardless, we will leave in the morning. So if there's anything in town that you guys would like to prepare for, now would be the time to do so.
So, was your question about the remnant just curiosity because I just so happen to be a priest of the dead?
Sort of. The I the DM find it ironic that you use the wording priest.
I know, but technically that is the job description underneath Hawking ruling. And when he says priest of the dead, he grimaces.
Yeah.
Darn,
It was a question of curiosity due to the fact that the rumors of these remnants, of what people have seen of these remnants, they have always come from an individual who has a strong connection to death. The last individual to have presented any kind of evidence of seeing a remnant was as you said, a priest of the dead.
Uh-oh.
How long ago was this?
He kind of like looks around. You can tell he's looking for Quinfarin, but he's not here. I believe it was maybe 150 years ago, give or take. It was before my time. It was something I learned when taking up the mantle of this beloved town.
Can a remnant
So-
speak to someone? Sorry.
Say that again?
Can a remnant speak to someone?
I get a roll chance for that. Okay. There's no recorded phenomena of that happening, at least not to my knowledge. But I don't know why not. Much like a wraith
Oh.
can speak to somebody, or I believe wraiths have a language.
And all this time,
Whatever it knew in life.
Yeah, that's what I was believe. Yeah, it knew just much like a wraith can speak. A remnant would be, in theory, would be able to speak as well. But
I thought they would all speak a dead language.
Look, I'm taking off my glasses.
Good job.
I'm leaning my head against the desk for that one.
that's fucking
Wow.
fantastic.
I took my glasses off, and one of the nose pieces just fell off.
Damn.
even Valinar's glasses has had it with your crap.
I mean, Cardin says that what you guys are saying, talking about dead language, like about languages for raves.
Katya finds it amusing. Typically, his puns are supposed to be my thing.
But as I said, I unfortunately I do not know.
Okay.
Considering it was and again, the grimace, priest of the dead, more commonly known as a necromancer, I'm not surprised there aren't many recordings about the entire thing.
Yeah.
From what I know of actual unordained, and again, ew, necromancers are normally quite secretive, and anything about them it's considered evil.
Or taboo.
So most things are either hidden or just outright destroyed.
Here,
And hopefully this necromancer that you're talking of was destroyed utterly. And he didn't have a chance to begin to construct a phylactery.
Well, in our
Were there any suspicious containers?
not to my knowledge. Again, this was all before my time. And to my knowledge, the necromancy magics are not. They're not shunned or forbidden. They're not even really frowned upon. They're more hesitantly used because it's rare for an individual to wield that power. And the individuals who do wield it are most individuals who can do some form of necromantics magics do it in a very controlled manner and a very limited, low-power manner. Those who do it on a larger, more grandiose scale and can perform it are typically 1 in a million and are very uncommon in these parts.
And people usually shy away from them and fear them, too. I mean, if you see a guy picking a skeleton up and having it walk beside him,
if you do not have...
It's a little scary.
Agreed. If you do not have a name for yourself and being able to use powerful magic such as this, he says, gesturing to your skeleton, then people might fear what you are doing because they do not know that you are a master of such arts.
Makes sense, I suppose. Though, I will say I am no master.
But you're still special.
But you are more skilled than any mage I have ever seen who has even dabbled in the necromantic arts.
Zalpit did say I was especially good at it.
I could tell you it's a good thing I'm not practicing necromancy. I might turn myself undead.
Yep, exactly. I mean, gosh.
No, you would just turn
That's
yourself
totally how it works.
No, you would just turn yourself dead. Not undead.
You never know. The way my
That's
magic works.
That's a specifically different thing. That involves as I said, phylactery, and a lot of, well, shall we say it's the reason why necromancy is fear when it is fear.
It can be a very problemsome magic if an individual's heart, I guess I should say, is in the wrong place.
Yes.
I thought all necromancers were heartless.
Not all. When they become heartless, that's when they become
Undead.
more of a lich.
Yes.
So based on the information that has been gleaned from this, it would sound like perhaps Denoch was onto something in regards to this shadow he kept seeing with Valinar. And I just thought he was crazy.
Yes, we've been seeing a shadow hovering almost occasionally around one of us. and we didn't know what it was. Now that you've told us about remnants, well, it makes a lot more sense.
He kind of just nods and looks Valinar over a couple of times.
Yeah.
Interesting, he says, kind of stroking the stubble on his face. Well, I suppose.
I mind link with Valnar, and I say, what's the shadow?
There's
Flying
Cardin,
back.
3 days behind.
Flying back to Card, you know that shadow thing that Enoch's been seeing behind me?
Oh yeah,
Are you just now catching up to that? Yeah.
yeah. Cardin is just now catching. I know that,
Okay.
but Cardin's just now catching.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Card. You caught up. Kind of. I think there's still a little more you may have missed, but I don't know what it is yet.
No, player is caught up.
Oh, no,
Cardin.
that was Valnar to Card.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We know that you have one int higher than Cardin.
I have.
Don't worry, Caleb. Don't worry.
I have more than one int higher than Cardin.
It's not hard.
I have at least a 13.
Yeah, it's just your perception that sucks.
Yes.
This is true. Blind is blind in real life. Well, almost. He might as well be.
I mean, looking through his glasses, yeah, pretty much.
So, is there anything else you guys would like to discuss with Mayor Zio here before leaving his tower?
What do you think will happen at the summit?
Hopefully, just a conversation with the other leaders and an agreement to utilize our resources in a common way to potentially find a way to join these four nations.
I believe technically it would be 5 if you include the surface.
Well, that one requires much further discussion.
Yes.
He says with kind of like a serious look, not necessarily one of like fear, anger, but one of like
Determination?
Yeah, determination is a good one to use.
You are filled with determination.
So are my pants.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
You trusted his fart too much.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Katya, wasn't there something you were researching as well? Something about the weave.
Oh, that's right. I did learn that on our travels. Man, this has only been 2 weeks, I swear, but it's felt like much longer. It's been all the walking. It's getting to my feet.
Felt like 3 months.
Give or take. Maybe more like 4 or so. 5. I don't know. I've lost track of time. I've done some research more on how the weave actually works, and one mystic, mage, I don't know how you'd refer to them. They actually owned a magic shop. They explained to me that my situation is kind of unique in that my weave internally is entangled, and this is what's causing my magic to quite often backfire upon myself and my allies. When
You were blowing bubbles last time you tried to cast a spell.
Exactly, which made me pretty useless for everything else in combat. Unfortunately, it does not appear that my research has led me any closer to finding a way to untangle the weave.
Don't you carry around something that can pop the bubbles?
Yeah, your ego.
Ooh!
He kind of, unfortunately, that sounds to me more of a arcane magic. I tend to deal a little more with divination, unfortunately. If you speak with Quinfarin on your way out, or if you run into him anyway, he might have some greater insight than I.
It was
But-
actually recommended to me that I seek out someone devoted to the goddess of knowledge, Scientia, and perhaps they will help me on my way to commune with the gods. But I can
What?
I can certainly have a word with Quinfar, and it won't hurt.
A lot of people believe that magic in this world comes from the gods, and the magic in which an individual uses comes from particular gods. For those of nature magic, on is typically viewed as their primary source. Those who are of a devotion of faith, well, their respected devotion to that god or goddess would be where they receive their power. But individuals who gain magic through study or through birthright, even some, a lot of times the gods believed to be related to that is that of Scientia, and sometimes Vita, depending on where the magic originated. It was a birthright magical ability versus a learned or studied magic.
But what about my situation? I wasn't born with this, and I didn't exactly acquire it through study. I learned more about it through study, but mine happened by accident.
Then perhaps the god Not might be a place to start.
Not
The god of trickery. The god of
trickery?
trickery.
Okay.
By accident.
Oh,
Trick.
So he's not. What? He knock. Okay.
Yeah.
Knock, the god of trickery. Okay. I heard not the god of trickery.
No, knock. So knock. So
but if he's the
Not.
god of trickery, how do we know if he actually is the god of trickery? Couldn't he just be all trying to fool us and such?
he very well could.
I don't know.
And the moment that you realize that it is he who is performing such trickery on you, he may very well vanish.
I don't feel like I'm going to get a straight answer trying to commune with Nock.
Absolutely not.
I'd be better off trying to commune with Scientia first.
Agreed.
Though she may lead me to Nock anyway.
Potentially.
It's gonna be complicated. I just want to find out what the deal is so I can just unknot this tangled mess within me and bring myself about.
Well, I wish you luck.
I'm going to need it. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to do, or would you like to leave his office?
Cardin is tired of politics.
You really hate my hand.
We weren't even discussing much politics. What are you talking about?
Cardin tired of politics.
Alright, I think that's our cue to leave.
All right.
We shall
I will
see you in the morrow.
And I'll keep an eye out for Quinn Farn
Okay.
along the way.
Okay.
Also,
Go ahead.
as soon as we're out of his office, Donna looks over to Deanoch, arches an eyebrow, and goes, "Priest?"
Look, it's the only way I could learn more about necromancy. To be a registered necromancer, you must be a priest of the dead.
All right,
Registered? Wait.
No.
Since when do necromancers register?
If you don't want to be hunted down and slaughtered on Hofkeen for practicing necromancy,
Ah.
after
I see.
all, it's like I said, it is a very dark art. So either you are hunted down and slaughtered for being a, I'll put it, hedge mage necromancer, I suppose would be a good term. Or you register to the Temple of Mortis, and honestly, it doesn't require actually worshipping.
So that's not one of the requirements for the test.
No, more along the lines of, are you a sociopath, or are you a bit more well-grounded? You get the first answer, well, you're kicked out of the
disconnect?
temple, and
That was weird. I just disconnected momentarily. That was weird.
interesting. Where did I lose you?
You said sociopath, and I was about to say, wait, why do they care if you're a sociopath if you're not going to be speaking to living people?
Well, you could use the dead, raise an army, try and take over the world.
How
Try.
does that make you a sociopath? Maybe you're the best speaker of everybody around you, and now you got an army of undead to talk to as well.
Deanoch looks over at Valinar.
Hmm?
Do you want to explain that one, or should I?
Which one?
A sociopath with an army of undead.
How does... Looks over to Kadi, how do you not get that?
I get it. I'm just trying to make a joke.
Ah.
I will never raise undead. It's not in my bloodline.
Or so you think.
I don't know if that's a joke or.
And he will never tell us.
I will never know until plot twist. All of a sudden, I'm a necromancer.
And
Roll your surge. All the dead begins to rise around you.
and the DM just smiles.
That would be unfortunate. I cast a spell, and all of a sudden, just corpses start rising up from the ground around me. What is going on?
As you
Not
guys,
outside the realm of possibility.
as you guys are standing outside of Zio's office, you do not see Quinfarin and are forced to take the stairs down.
Oh.
This ought to be fun.
It's not a very long trek, but it's much longer than taking the quote-unquote elevator.
Well, at least I won't lose my lunch going downstairs.
Eventually making your way
Unless I
out.
trip.
No, you guys are fine.
Okay.
Eventually making your guys' way out into the city street, and eventually leaving the the Royal District.
Katia keeps checking behind him to make sure he's not missing Quinfarn along the way.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop. 14.
Okay. You do not seem to notice him on your way out of the Royal District.
Darn.
Well, we may see him tomorrow. More than
That is a
likely.
possibility. That is a possibility. I'll have to remind myself.
Now, which way to that inn we stayed at? I don't seem to remember.
Actually, you
What was
would.
it called?
No, I didn't get keen mind until.
After you guys picked up, once you guys picked up, Ada, you guys had reached level 4. Because you guys were level 5 when you came back and fought the Breeder Troll, were you not?
Yeah, but I thought we went straight from there.
I thought you guys
We
stayed.
weren't.
Oh,
We were
At
not
least you
level
would've passed
5.
it.
We were not level 5 when we fought the Breeder Troll. We became level 5 right before, Inthalna.
Oh. Okay, never mind. You wouldn't remember then.
Because that's when I got Lightning Bolt.
Gotcha. You guys, you guys now in the Common District, is there anything you guys would like to do here in the Common District other than rest for the evening before tomorrow's journey?
Eat. Dinner would be nice.
Okay. So you guys go to the Yawning, let's see, the Yawning Mug.
Ah, yes.
I yawned just as you said yawning.
The Bronze Scales Dragonborn Jezerin, female Dragonborn,
Hey.
sees you guys entering and just, welcome back. You guys have
Long time no see.
it's been a number of weeks, I believe.
Felt like once, but everybody keeps saying it's been only a couple weeks, so I'll accept that.
Okay. Here at the Yawning Mug, you guys are offered rooms and drinks at a quarter of the normal rate.
Oh, cool.
Due to you guys having survived and saved the end against the undead goblins. Also, to point out, the smell of rot has still been present throughout the city as you guys have been making your travels back from.
I meant to
Zio's.
ask Mayor Zio about that. I forgot.
Yep.
What was the Dragonborn's name?
Jezerin.
So, Jezerin,
She looks at you expectingly.
what is the source of that foul stench? We've smelled it since this morning up in the Airy Peaks.
There are a couple of options. One could be not all of the goblins from the previous attack was in the city. Some were left on the mountain. Or the other option that we don't think is as likely is 1 second as the DM checks his notes.
So while the DM checks his notes, who can't wait for Cyberpunk 2077?
I can
my
wait.
gosh.
Or the lesser likely truth is that Rava has left out some food again.
What?
Rava, the oracle on the mountain.
There's an oracle on the mountain? Nobody mentioned this before.
Did you ask?
I'd never think to ask about people living in mountains.
You've traveled cities. You've met Palig. He comes from mountain.
Wait, who does this oracle leave food out? Or what?
She is how you say, shamanist. Food, animal parts go into rituals and have bad smell if not cleaned afterwards. If something goes wrong, every now and then we get wafts as it all travels down the mountain, stinks up city.
So it's more likely for there to be more undead goblins than for us to smell her ritual parts.
Aye.
Okay. That seems backwards to me, but alright.
Most likely, it'll fade in a little while. I believe some god went to clean up.
Well, I may... If I've got nothing better to do after the summit, I may make my way back this direction and see if I can't locate said oracle. Perhaps she
I
can
might
help
join
me.
you for that. Oracles seem to just know things sometimes.
Maybe she can help, or maybe she can point me towards somebody who can. If I haven't fixed my problem before, then that is.
Potentially. So, let's see here. If you guys are wanting lodging for the evening, you're looking at, let's see. Lodging for the night would be like 2 silver apiece per room. Food would be like, of a modest meal would be like a silver piece. 2 silver for a comfortable meal, which is what Cardin typically gets.
I want a nice hearty meal because we are going on a.
Yep.
We need the strength. I'm going to need the strength for tomorrow. So that's 4 silver total.
Yeah. Well, if you're going for yeah, you're right.
Cool.
I had to look at the
I can-
numbers again. So.
I can maths.
Yep. So, is there anything anybody would like to accomplish on this day still in the city of Dagbor?
Don't think so.
Are there any are there any just guys training in the in barracks or something like that?
You don't even know where the barracks are.
Could I try and find something like
Sure,
Oh,
roll
no.
an investigation check.
investigation?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Where'd that check go? I don't see it.
It's
Oh, there it is.
high.
Oh, there it is. Oh, 8 it is.
Well, do you want 8 or do you want 8?
I ate these choices.
You are unable to find what looks to be like a barracks or training ground.
Okay. And then to myself, I say, I miss the training fields of my people. And I try to find my way back.
I will say with an 8, you don't quite manage to get lost. It does take you a number of hours to go walking around and find your way back, though.
Oh
Okay.
lord.
then I will say, for the sake of brevity and speed, you guys have an evening's rest, a long rest, and you guys
Yay!
meet with Mayor Zio and his traveling companions on the road the following morning, kind of outside of the
Sweet.
city of Dagbor. You guys are assigned to be part of the guard that travels around with him. You guys are provided horses to ride, and
Uh-oh.
What?
Have I ever ridden a horse before?
I would imagine, with your background, I would imagine you would have.
Okay.
Would I
Didn't we
have ever-
ride them earlier in the?
No, you guys couldn't afford them.
Oh yeah.
Question.
I will say, for the sake of this, I'll have everybody go ahead and roll an animal handling check,
Oh,
just to see how well you're able to handle the animal. 'Cause
Oh, 18.
Oh, 13.
I will say those are all high enough to pass.
Okay.
Okay.
I would hope my 18 is high enough.
It's not like you guys are. It's not like the 21st century where riding a horse is
Uncommon.
really uncommon. Horses are everywhere. I mean, they're a very
Okay.
reliable mode of transportation and travel. Zio does have a cart, and you do notice that there seems to be at least one platoon of soldiers with him, plus you guys. And then you actually notice that Quinfarin is actually driving his carriage.
I found Quinfarin.
You did. And so you guys are traveling as a group. You guys are given horses and are assigned, are kind of directed in a loose kind of formation. They know that probably won't hold due to your guys' inexperience with military tactics, but you are given ideas on how to, at the very least, protect the carriage if you guys were to come under attack.
Which
And
will
I will
probably
explain,
happen.
and I'll explain that if it happens, because I have yet to roll for it.
Oh.
Oh boy.
What? What?
We're all gonna die! Run!
I'll explain it if it happens, but which I haven't rolled for yet. Uh-oh.
Which means it'll probably happen.
Yeah. With our luck, yeah. We'll be attacked by more bandits.
Why can I not find my spare glasses?
Or
Alright.
not bandits.
On your
Cultists.
actual glasses?
What?
That nose piece fell off on your actual
Yeah,
glasses?
no, that's what I was saying. That actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought you were saying for your glasses in game.
No, that was real life.
Oh my god.
I can put it back in. It's just whenever I touch my glasses, it falls out again.
Well, don't touch your glasses then.
It's kind of hard to do.
I
Considering they're
know.
sitting on his face.
I know.
Alright, so I believe, Katya, you wanted to talk with Quinfarin about something
How am I going to do that while I'm riding on the horse?
by riding up next to him,
Or using message.
or that.
Yeah, that'd be easier. Then I don't have to get right up next to the carriage and...
Okay, so you
Plus-
decide to use message.
He'll be able to hear me better. So I use message. Essentially, I explained to him my situation and the research I've done and my findings, and ask if he knows where I should go from here.
Okay. The tangling of one's weave is very complex and unfortunate. Mayor Zio's recommendation of seeking Scientia would be the best evidence for a arcane practitioner like yourself and of ourselves. But you also may there may be other magics that you may be able to learn that would allow you to momentarily or even indefinitely untangle the web. But these magics would be very powerful and very old magics. But as you are a group of adventurers, you may come across something in your travels that even we are not privy to in our current day and age.
So, ow. Okay. How can you use magic to untangle your weave if your weave is tangled in such a way that it makes it complicated to cast magic to begin with?
It's much like magic can fix a broken dish. Magic can fix many things. Magic can sort through different areas. Now, if you are to get close to the source of magic, potentially Scientia herself, it could be that she would have an answer for you. An answer that I do not know, as having one's weave tangled is a very unfortunate and very serious problem that most people tend to avoid at all costs and don't tangle their weave.
Then my next question is, where is the closest temple to Scientia?
He kind of like looks back and goes, Dagboa?
Alright. Well, I did have plans to return back this way after the summit anyway. So I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for your advice.
Does anybody else want to talk during the traveling of the summit, to the summit grounds? Okay.
Cardin is enjoying nature.
Fair enough. The smell of rot is present, though bearable, when you guys leave. And by the second day, it is nearly gone from the air. It does take about 2 days before arriving at the location for the summit. So in these 48 hours, is there anything anyone would like to do during this time?
I'd like to ride my horse.
You successfully travel with the rest of the group.
Sweet.
There was no way of really saying that in a way of it not being some kind of innuendo.
Oh my.
Anyway. No one else? Okay, then.
No, but as I said, Cardin is enjoying his time out in the wild.
Yeah. Also, if it's okay with you guys, I would like to go a little bit later tonight just to kind of make up for that time that we spent not starting, if you guys are okay with that.
We could certainly try.
I don't want to. I don't want to do super late, but I'm talking like 15 minutes.
When do we usually end?
Like half an hour from now.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
So I'm talking like 45 minutes from now.
Oh, I don't know. That's a long time. We can do it.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
The rest of you?
I'm fine with it.
Guess I'll be fine.
Uh-oh.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm starting to fade, but
Well, depending on what we get through in the next half hour, we may not need to go over. So we'll see what we
Okay.
get
I'll try
through.
not to ask. I'll try to be quiet and not ask all the stupid questions.
I mean, I understand. I will say you will have to probably bear with me for a while because as we are getting to the summit, I am going to be doing a lot of talking.
Yep, and I'm excited to listen to you voice everybody and get your voices mixed up. Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I do not have music for you guys to hear.
That's alright.
Let's see.
I can't hear it anyway. I got my own tunes in my head.
And you know what? I'm just gonna go for this segment. I'm gonna go with no music. I think it'll make it a little more dramatic.
Ooh.
So, the day arrives where you guys arrive at the designated location for the summit. You guys are brought to this area, this large, open, almost Roman court-like area. There are pillars, marble pillars, rising up with large stone statues surrounding different areas, almost in between every column, it seems like, at times, from this distance. And you're not the only ones. You see 4 other carriages nearly arriving almost at the same time as you guys. Each of these carriages kind of have their own brand of what appears to be the representation of each city that has been invited to this summit. Excuse me. Each individual that you know steps out of these carriages. Halig, Vom, Zio, Lumyar, Varn, all step out of their carriages. You notice that Varn is the only one of the 3 eldermen that come, seeming to trust his judgment and still have individuals run the town. He's the one who comes as a representative. You guys can see that a lot of the individuals are very tense in this moment. A lot of the soldiers are all standing stiff, ready to go. And as these leaders kind of step, each of them begin heading towards this large center where you guys will have this conversation, this summit. Followed closely behind them are their squires or assistants. You guys are following behind Zio. And you guys come up the stairs to this large room, this marbled floor with these marble pillars rising up, holding this large dome roof
Elaborate.
of carved marble stone above you, standing out in kind of the middle of nowhere, by the way. You guys watch as the troops from all 5 cities encircle the essentially small temple-like building. None of them intermingling or entering the temple, except for the leaders, their squire, and you guys. The marble floor, the grout in between them is painted or stained red. You were unsure of which. The individuals step up to the center of the room where there are 5 large chairs placed for the individuals to sit. And you watch as all of them kind of stand behind these chairs for a moment. Actually, give me one.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a big map.
Yeah.
Are those statues or guards?
These are statues. There are no
Okay.
guards visible. They are technically in the black area.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I also don't have tokens for squires because they're not important.
And who's this one?
That is also a statue. It's just smaller than the rest of them. Significantly smaller.
I see that.
Yep.
Yep, that's why I asked.
I understand. For the people on the stream, he's referring to this one up here. I was slightly out of the view of being able to see that. Still keeping everybody. There we go. That's better. Okay. As they are all standing there, kind of staring almost one another down, you can see that they all appear to be dressed or ready for war. The armor shining like it's just been forged with gold and rune carvings covering a fair bit of the armor. You see Vom wearing with his pauldrons nearly making his head disappear in between the two. And carrying a thick spike tower shield that looks too heavy for him alone to wield. Zio, having now noticed his armor as you guys get closer, you can see that his armor, his left arm, has what looks to be a buckler shield built into the armor itself, with just as much gold and gold and red as the rest of his armor's set. Varan wears a dark green chain and gold mail that the chain of gold seems to make up the silver of Deja, a 4-leaf clover with a sword at his waist. Palig and Lumiar are the only ones not wearing armor, like heavy armor anyway. Palig wears a finely crafted dark brown robe and leathers with runes etched into the leather itself. You can just barely notice them. Lumiar wears a set of pants and a shirt with a deep V in it that is a dark olive green with gold trim and embroidery so elaborate that at first glance you miss the runes that are hidden among the design. As they stand there speechless, staring at one another. Zio is the one who speaks first. Shall we? He says, stepping around his chair. The others follow suit, one after another. They all sit, and Barin speaks. So why have you gathered us here, Zio? All of us, anyway. You already know why. Or did you not read the letter, Barin? He knows why. He means, why does it concern us? Speaks Palig. Are you not aware? This is coming from Baum now. These four claim to have been summoned here by some power, and each of them claim to be from another island. All but one, that is. There's some murmuring for a moment as Palig, or for a moment as the group kind of like, oh yeah, no, I didn't hear that. And then Palig speaks up. Then what is the fourth saying? Everyone stops and turns for a moment, waiting. Baum speaks again. He says he's from the surface, where demons roam free. You can see Zio's head drop slightly and the murmuring continues again, this time with fear in their voices. You're too far away to make out any distinct words as they come out. But you can definitely tell by the way that they whip around and are moving that it is definitely fear that grips them. After a few minutes, Zio finally speaks up. Enough! Calling out to them. I called this meeting for a reason. And what I would like to do is have each person, and he kind of looks over to you guys,
Oh no.
to come up and tell us everything they can about their home world. And he kind of quotes world or nation.
I'm going to need my map back.
During this, I would like each of our scribes to write everything down, all the information that they can. With this information, I would like then to see what we, and he gestures to the group, can find that connects these worlds, again quoting. Doing this might give us the strength to bring humanity back. After 2,000 years, we are no closer to being able to retake the surface world. And you can see him now kind of tapping on the armrest of his chair. And for some of us, and he looks around, it has been a dream that has just been forgotten. You watch as a couple of the heads kind of look away, almost in shame. But maybe these other places haven't given up, and maybe they have something that can help us take back the world that belongs to us. There's a few minutes of silence. At first, you begin to think that none of them are willing to agree to what it is that has been said.
Nope.
They're hard to read.
That was for myself.
Oh, what are you inciting on yourself?
I'm inciting myself to see if I might understand the somberness of the room.
I'm gonna.
Oh no.
Or would that be more of a wisdom?
I'll say you're fine. You can read. You can read it. I'll say
Okay.
it's definitely like a hesitation of agreeing to something like this because it could potentially lead to war.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Cardin, who knows war fairly well, would understand that. The rest of you who are intelligent beings would be able to reach that conclusion.
Okay.
It's actually Palig who to speak up first.
say I just have to make sure for Cardin that he wouldn't be
Gotcha.
say something stupid in the middle of not stupid but interject while the elders are speaking type of deal.
Yeah.
If Cardin would not be Cardin for a moment.
Yeah. Palig is the first one to speak up, and he kind of goes, "Aye, it's time we take back what is ours." And he kind of says affirmatively, and afterwards you can hear Lumyar agree, and then Varen, followed by Vom. Zio gives a smile and almost like a sigh of relief, and he looks over to you guys and motions for you to come forward and asks you guys to explain your homelands to the council. And I'm going to go ahead and move you guys into the center here.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Whee!
Center of attention.
Yep.
Not my strong suit.
I'm also going to have you guys roll initiative for who goes first.
Oh, okay.
Cardin tries hiding behind
Remember,
the short
click
person
on
in the
your
party.
character first.
No, this is just to see who goes first and telling their order. There isn't an actual combat
10.
or anything like that. It is just to see who tells first.
I lost.
15.
Okay?
Great. I'm
So-
first.
Valinar. It's ironic, too, because you're actually the one facing Zio. Oh, okay, so it's a counterclockwise circle with how you guys are currently standing. Excellent. So,
It's in height.
he kind of
Excuse
looks
me.
to you, Valinar, and goes, "Would you care to share first?"
Sure. That'll be fun. Well, terrain-wise, we're not all that different from here. But people-wise, well, we're a lot more religious, I guess you could say. We're a bit of a theocracy, if I could speak correctly. Ruled by a council of the high priests of each god or goddess. Every year, roughly, there's a bit of a tournament to determine where the council is held, which city it will be held in, as well as who the chair will be. I guess the head priest in charge for that year. Aside from that, in terms of trade, we've got a lot of things. Got fish, which is... I don't know if that's a shock to anyone. We
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Did you say fish?
yes.
Oh, that
Do
is
not know
kind
what a
of crazy.
Cardin
Sarcasm
sort of
101.
just looks over at Katia.
I'm sorry, you never mentioned that you had fish. I just thought that was insane.
No, we have fish. We have
Okay.
rivers, kind of.
Cardin continues
We-
death glaring at
We even
Katia.
have like a lake somewhere. It kind of hidden away. Only the fishermen know about.
And
Oh, what else?
what of your leaders and their standpoint on trade or willingness to work with another nation? All the while, you guys can see scribes in the background just the entire time.
I can definitely tell you the high priest of Sancho would definitely be willing. High priest of Cain might be. Well, high priest of Cain would probably be all for going back and beating the crap out of the demons. As for the others, high priestess of Geisma, I wouldn't trust her. That's an understatement. Oh. I clicked the wrong thing. Where'd the list go? There we go. Everyone else is kind of on the fence. Be a little wary of the High Priest of Nock for obvious reasons. And of course, it also all comes down to kind of who's the head when you get there.
What of the populace numbers? Are you guys vast in a population, or are you lower?
Say we're about 4 cities, probably all about the same size as probably which one is it? I don't have the right map up.
That's why you need all your maps at all times.
Are you looking
Always.
at? Are you looking at Deja, Baran, and Thalna?
They'd probably all be about the size of Inthalna, I think.
Okay. So not quite.
Not
quite,
the size of Tolis, but not as small as Deja.
Yeah, or Baran. Baran and Deja are pretty small.
Yeah.
Okay. Zio kind of nods and goes, "Is there any other information you believe worthy for us to know? Or important?"
I don't think so.
Thank you for your honesty. And then he kind of looks to Garden. And he looks at you and he kind of like, please, tell us about your nation as well. And for the sake of everybody else, he will ask the same questions if you do not answer them.
Well,
So, looking for willingness of fighting, number of population are the major ones. So, go ahead, Garden.
Layout.
Yep.
well, what I'm thinking is, with where Cardin's from, wouldn't it make sense for him to go last?
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
know
we rolled.
wise, we rolled for it, but like,
And it possibly
and they
would,
wouldn't
but
know, I guess.
you are kind of the next one. Well, also at the time being, they also only see you as claiming to be from the surface.
yes, that's true. I guess they would know, like, at least I claim to be from the surface, so I guess that would make sense.
I mean, as far as anyone's concerned, that's all you've claimed.
Yeah. Hello there.
And I did send you the map again so that you would have it.
Yes, I have it in front of my face.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep.
Yeah, but can you see it right in front of your face?
Yes, I can see it. I have it expanded to an entire one of my screens.
Okay.
Questions?
So, I know not where we are now. Well, I sort of know where we are now. But where I am from, we have separate tribes made up of different peoples, places, and things. We are unlike my friend here, the theologian.
Ooh, big word.
We are a little bit. Remember, that is part of Cardin, though.
He gets one a day, guys. Remember, he gets one a day.
One day.
One a day keeps the rot away.
One a day.
I haven't heard the religion in quite a while.
And that's our friend here. We're not necessarily a very religious people. We have shamans, we have earth gods and sky gods and stuff like that. But we live off the land. We are more one with nature. We have to we're tribal. We're nomads. We travel around in not in circles, but on sort of like a cycle. We don't have cities, and the ones we do have are basically just housing. Winter housing. We have forest and lakes and land and oceans.
Zero
Are
leans
they-
forward. You
Yeah,
mean salt water?
Yes.
People like you can hear the murmuring begin again. And Zio kind of hey, it dies down. Continue.
It's water that dehydrates you.
That's
If,
two.
You got to remember these guys have never experienced salt water.
Yeah,
None of
it
them
is
are old enough.
salt water. Yeah, it is. We have salt water. We have giant fish, giant creatures. I mean, you have creatures here, but the ones where I'm from, they can they'll make the hair on your chest grow, even on an elf.
You say that and you kind of look over at Varin, who's got this deep V, or not Varin, Lumiar, who's got this deep V shirt, and you can see the hair on his chest just peeking out from the point of the V.
Here's a question. I'm sorry, I do have to interject, but Katya, are you sneaking glances over at Lumiar all the time?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to keep my eyes focused on Cardin because he's the one talking.
Oh, definitely because he's the one talking. No other reason.
I didn't choose to put myself there. Thank you very much. I just followed y'all into the circle.
By the way, this is all above game for me, at least.
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have,
Anyway.
but yes. But anyway, we have forests and we have groves and more forests and mountains. True mountains. Giant mountains. I like the mountains. Climbing is fun. These natural activities are fun. None of the tribes, our tribe at least, is pretty small. But I think if we could combine the tribes, we might have a viable army, if not only a scout corps. There's lots and lots of woods, and we call it this part the overgrowth. And when we are traveling through the overgrowth, that is where we can sometimes come in contact with the demons.
Again, more murmuring.
These demons, when we have passed other tribes or other groups, as we should say, but they have been slaughtered. And all of these tribes much bigger than my tribe. Be that by demon or by beast, I do not know. All I know is that they cap out at probably 101 bodies. But there's
Wait,
plenty
you
of
can count that high?
resources. And if we have to, there's plenty of resources. If we could combine the tribes, it would definitely be a formidable army. Yeah, basically the tribesmen are good, but we would need help to break out from under the shackles and to combine us all into one people.
All right.
For we are nomad.
Zio kind of nods.
In the mountains.
Thank you for your insight. And you can see a lot of the other people kind of like, like beginning to like look to their scribes and are like, make sure you get that written down. Kind of a vibe.
Carden starts vibing.
Dinoc,
Nice.
would you care to present your cities? Would you care to present
There
your
is
cities?
sandstorms in the play. Yes. I am Dinok Alok V. I am from the metropolis, a city covering an entire country of Hofkeen, ruled by the noble families, mine own among them, where magic and technology have merged to create wonders.
A little bit of murmuring at that.
We are able to create horseless carriages that not only drive by themselves, but are able to fly. Towers so tall they reach the sky, made not of stone or wood, but of metal and glass.
Katya starts drooling a little.
We have shields to protect us not from physical blows, but rather weather, from magic, from the elements themselves. My people number... At this, he leans back a little, looking into the sky. I do believe the last census was about 7 million.
I can't even count that high.
You hear some murmuring of like, that's an impressive number of people to them. A very impressive number.
Considering a country hears about what?
Maybe
100,000?
They might have 1 million people on this on the island if you counted every woman and child as well.
Mm-hmm. My people have conquered most, if not almost all, of our island, save for our two guardians, shall we call them? One being a kraken, a beast that once lived in the seas below us, massive in nature, powerful, and at this I'd stop and look at each and every one of the leaders. A terrace, known as Mother Eldervale.
A couple of murmurs. Not many. The elves primarily. Which would be
That
reference,
makes sense.
It'd be Lumyar and Barin primarily. Those would be the ones that would primarily know of some knowledge of this.
My city, Hofkeen, is ruled by noble families, as I said. It is sectioned off into what we call wards. Some are larger than others. Merely a reference to the power of the family, if you will. Each ward can can contain anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000. And each family has its own set of guards. Though, to settle any disputes, we have gladiatorial arenas where a noble family can buy a gladiator's time and skills and have them fight for the family, for honor. It is how many disputes are solved among my people. Should we be pressed for our military might, there has not been a major offensive movement for maybe 1,700 years, so our army is more of a standing army. Though we are definitely not pushovers of any means.
Understood.
In terms of how willing we would be for trade and for meeting you in the throes of battle to fight against the demons, I do believe the more prominent families would be mostly willing. As with all major political groups, watch for greed and self-serving. Backstabbing, especially among the higher, the noble families. And at this, Enoch just kind of looks a little disgruntled.
You can see people kind of nodding.
And
Thank
was there
you.
anything else they were asking?
I don't believe so. I think you covered everything.
Okay.
Thank you. And you, Katya.
Yes, sir, that's me. First, I would like to thank everyone here for taking the time to meet in this location and on amicable terms so that we can discuss how we plan to unite us all. It may start here, but this is going to be a worldwide effort, and everybody has to pull their own in order for this to be a successful endeavor. My land is very similar to this one in some ways, and very different in others. We don't have quite as many cities, and our largest city is a little bit smaller than the city of Tullus here, from what I've seen. I don't know what my ancestors were thinking when we chose our piece of land to rise. I guess we were in a hurry because we somehow got the part that didn't have a lot for natural water resources. As a matter of fact, a good portion of my home is actually barren because we have run short on water supply over the last 2 millennia. Our largest source of water is man-made and runs right by our capital city of Oxenford, where I hail from. But you don't have to die.
Oh, I just remembered a above game. I remembered a Chip and Dale thing.
Okay.
Just based off of that, so
All right.
continue.
Because I want to attribute this to because of our lack of water resources. We don't have a lot of fantastic or vicious creatures that live in the wilderness. It's very peaceful, actually. But because we haven't had to defend ourselves from each other because there's no reason to go to war. We don't have monsters that harass us. Nobody has resources worth taking so we're not constantly invading each other. So we just keep to our own little corners of our homes, and we don't even really need a military force. So I guess you could say the art of war has been lost upon us. Also, because of our dwindling water supply, we have also had a dwindling supply of people. Our population is declining slowly but surely with time because not everybody can gain access to affordable water. I was fortunate to be born into a wealthy family. My father is probably the wealthiest man in our city, and he holds a lot of sway over our governor. So really, he would be the better one to convince for us to join this effort. But I can't see my people saying no to a unified effort. We need the help, and we're willing to give whatever we can in exchange for help. Technology-wise, we are not quite as marvelous as Dinok and his people. But we were on the verge of some... What would you call that? Some technology? I think the last I heard, we had somebody who had almost a prototype working airship, because there was a plan to go down to the surface, but from what I've heard from Cardin, the surface isn't any better than where we're at the moment.
I mean, we have water.
Yes, you have water, but you also have demons, and my people are not prepared to fight them by ourselves.
Palik kind of,
But what we...
or not Palik, Zio kind of nods and goes, as I said before, some people have given up on the one-time goal, or once a goal.
We have become comfortable in our ways, as comfortable as we can when people are dying in the streets of dehydration. But what we do have is we do have monetary value. That is something we do have an excess of. And when it comes to funding, we can fund an army. We can fund supplies.
Good to know.
But that's about all we can offer at this time.
It is appreciated, the information you four have given. But I would ask for you to step away for a little while we discuss among ourselves what might be the next step.
Fair enough.
You guys are free to move wherever in the marble floor that you guys would like to go. I believe you guys have...
I like the statue.
Yeah, I believe you guys have control of your characters, so you guys are able to go wherever.
I like the statue.
That's a nice statue.
I like that ass. That's a nice ass.
I figured you'd be staring more at Lumiar.
Who said that?
Cardin goes behind a pillar.
Ah. I don't know what you're
No, I
talking
just
about. I wasn't staring at Lumiar. I was staring at the statue behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a deception check. Roll an insight check, Dinok.
Bet my deception beats you. 17.
Wow!
Nice roll.
Cardin
Yeah, he's telling the
also-
truth.
How did I do that?
Every time.
I don't know. That's a
Also,
17 on
Cardin
deception
is
from
gonna
Katya
try-
and a 3 on insight from Dinok. What was that, Cardin?
Cardin's going to try and stealthily get behind the pillar.
Roll stealth.
Okay.
Will a 20 work?
Okay.
Unnatural, obviously, but
Right. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what all these, Yeah. You seem to be unnoticed by everybody.
yes.
To what end, we don't know.
And as you guys are kind of standing there, and you guys can hear the murmuring of the city leaders behind you, you guys have a little bit of time to kind of think about what has just happened. And I would like everybody, real quick before we end tonight, to roll a perception check.
Oh.
Oh
Oh
no.
boy.
Per-
Perception.
7.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Lord.
8.
They're all bad.
Wow.
I don't
Our
think-
passes are all higher than that. Come on now.
I will take the advantages on all of these because you guys don't have a lot to do right now.
Well, don't
Okay.
look for me. You take 11, and you take 11.
You know what? I'll let you re-roll.
25 for me.
It's gonna be worse. I
Goddamn.
know it.
Mm-hmm. Valinar, because of all of this, though, I'm not going to count that as a crit.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. Alright,
No.
that's better. That's better.
Yeah.
Actually, excellent. This is perfect. Because I
Okay.
wanted you guys to notice it, but dang.
We weren't noticing shit.
You guys...
Clearly.
Cardin, you have a hard time noticing this, but you do notice it. And it's out in this direction. Actually, sorry, no. I hit the wrong one. It's over here. That general area. So kind of...
Over where?
Kind of the southeastern direction.
There.
Kind of...
Oh,
yeah, I'm
there.
marking it.
Wrong button.
Uh, yeah. Cardin, you see something fall from the sky, catching the glint of the sunlight in the distance. You can't make out what it is from where you are. Everyone else, probably 200 or so feet off in the distance, way beyond what you guys can really make out fine details of. You guys see a plate-sized metal disc that appears to have glowing runes on it. From this distance, is about what you can tell. That's about all you can tell. That's from this distance, anyway. You watch as it falls and impacts the ground, and the dust begins to kind of rise up from the impact.
the
Enoch.
hell was that?
Enoch, since you are able to re-roll, sorry. There is a strange sense of similarity from whatever that was, and some of your encounters with some of your Magitech from back home.
Oh.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
Well,
Uh-oh.
To make up those 20 minutes and to leave on a little bit of a cliffhanger about what is going on.
And it's in our... Wait, is that in the room we're in?
No, it's like 200 or so feet away from where you guys are.
It's outside.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Well, isn't this a giant open platform?
no, there's a dome.
Okay, I must have missed that.
Oh, it's a gazebo.
Yeah, it's a giant gazebo.
Okay. Then I wish this background here were green.
Yeah, that black
That might have helped a little bit.
Huh?
The black basically is telling us we're inside a building.
Yeah, that's why I was a little bit confused, but okay, I get it now.
The black itself is basic. I did it this way so that the area outside of what is inside here is essentially not privy to the conversations that are being held. They are essentially soldiers, and that is it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if you made it green, it would have made. Never mind.
that's all right.
Yeah, well,
It's all right.
I did.
We got to figure it out. Except for Carton.
Yeah. Martin, you wouldn't have been able to see any of the details. You would have just kind of seen the glint of light off of it, and then probably the little bit of a dust cloud as it ended or as it impacted. So
We're being invaded.
alrighty.
Carden has big hammer. He no care.
Oh god, that theme song. You ever heard that theme song just from nowhere in the middle of the night? Fucking creepy.
Sounds like you need to turn off Alexa.
No. When I was a kid, my dad used to turn on X-Files middle of the night. And all I can hear from down the hall is that theme song. It's just fucking disturbing at night. Laying in a dark room, you hear
Now
and that weird echoing sound. I'm like, oh.
Now all I can think of for some reason, like I know it has nothing to do with X-Files, but Tiptoe. All I can think of is Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and then the way that they used it in what's that movie? Insidious.
Okay.
They used Tiptoe Through the Tulips as like the demon's intro song.
All right.
That's
well,
good to know.
Guys, everyone, thank you guys so much for checking out the stream. It was a lot of fun. Again, the artwork done by the very talented. I'm gonna make it bigger.
Very awesome.
Yeah. Jesse Creative, go check her out on Instagram. There is a link in the description. Also, you can join our Discord, and our Discord, which also has a link in the chat. There are places there to talk with us about everything that is going on. Again, we will be trying to avoid things about spoilers, things like that, but we also try to do other games from time to time as well. Been very busy lately, so we haven't really had the opportunity to do so. But
the one we want to play the most is Borderlands 3.
Agreed. And time is not our friend right now. So
yeah, basically we try and it's like, haha, no.
Right.
Welcome to 2020.
Yep. However, with that being said and everything, though, follow me on Twitter at Big Ripper for announcements on when we'll do streaming and stuff like that. I typically announce it on Twitter before we go live. I said something today, probably 4 hours before we played, but that's typically what I do. Is I make some kind of announcement about us playing something tonight, that night, or whatever. Typically, and if you ever miss a video, you can check out all of our videos over on the Big Ripper YouTube channel. I have uploaded everything over to that channel, and you guys are welcome to check out anything over there. Everything's there if you are unable to find it in the VODs here on Twitch.
Do we want to tell them about next week?
Yeah, I'll say that here in a minute.
Okay.
Also, guys, Twitch is doing something new where I don't know when it's starting exactly, but they're going to be doing it here soon. And a lot of people are upset about it. And I'm also kind of in that boat. I don't agree with what they're doing. And they're going to be rolling out a new ad system, basically. and I don't like it because now there are going to be ads during live streams. So if you're
How does that work?
if you're watching a stream live, there'll be ads, and I don't agree with that. I personally do not like that.
Is that gonna cut out some of our audio then? Some of our video?
I don't know yet. We haven't seen it in practice.
Great.
I do
And
know,
we won't get any money for any ads, will we?
I think we do.
Oh.
I think we do, but I don't know how it works exactly. I do not support this. I really don't. Because in D&D, you know, 10 seconds can take away a lot from a story.
Mm-hmm.
In 10 seconds, you could have missed half of Valinar's island that he created. Or described to us. You know, in 10 seconds, you would have missed a lot of that. There's so much that you can miss in 10 seconds, and I don't agree with that. I personally do not like that. I do know that there is one surefire way of avoiding those rollout ads, and that is by subscribing to the Twitch channels that you like to watch. If they're live.
Oh, okay.
That is a surefire way to do it. Now, don't
subscribe to us.
Well, that is a surefire way to avoid it. I do also know that there are some ad blockers that prevent Twitch's ads, but I don't know how that'll affect a live stream. So maybe look into that in the future as well. Again, I don't know all of the answers. I don't have all of the answers for you guys, but I am trying to let you guys know so that you can better prepare for the future. Because honestly, I don't like this. I think the big reason why it's even happening is because somebody is wanting to put more money in their own pocket. That's my opinion.
Sounds about right.
That's my own opinion. I could be wrong. I could be, I don't know for sure. But you know what they say: opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, but nobody wants to see it or hear it
or smell it.
Yeah.
So, but just to give everyone a heads up on that. Also, to give everybody a heads up, next week we are going to take the week off. Next Friday we are not going to have a D&D stream. Instead, we are going to be taking the week off and enjoying the weekend. Except for, hold on, is that next weekend? Oh, that is next weekend. So, next Saturday, actually, I am actually going to be doing I'm actually going to be joining that Art Jack doing a speed paint artwork next Saturday. We're still working on details and stuff like that, but that's going to be a lot of fun. Basically, I'm going to have him commission. I'm basically going to have a piece of artwork commissioned, and then he's going to do it in like a speed painting format. I believe that is live on Twitch. If not, you guys will see the artwork when it's all done eventually. So, it'll be fun. That's basically my weekend next week. But otherwise, we're gonna take next week off for just to kind of take a breather and then get everything else kind of worked through. So, again, guys, thank you guys so much for stopping by, checking out the stream, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Again, go and throw some love over towards Jessie. She's, like I said before, she is a great artist, and I know she would love to do more work, and I may have her do some more work for this channel in the future. We'll see.
Yay!
I wouldn't be opposed.
Exciting.
In the meantime, guys, you guys keep taking care of yourself. I know this world is still kind of crazy, so make sure you take care of yourself.
It ain't gonna get any better.
Yeah. Take care of yourself, and we will see you guys next time. So in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Bye.